I thank the chairman. Appreciate you holding this hearing and for your opening statement. And I appreciate the witnesses lending their expertise today. I know this is a topic that touches all members on this subcommittee and across the Capitol, for the events that transpired on January 6th arrested all of us deeply. While we've discussed domestic terrorism financing in the past, this meeting will hit closer to home from the previous ones. I look forward to the constructive dialogue on this topic as a way to bring both sides of the aisle closer together. The majority has taken the decision to convene this hearing in the aftermath of the horrific destruction and mayhem of January 6th. All of us are saddened and outraged by the actions of those involved in the evil and devastating act. All of us condemn the rioters' destruction and malice towards the peaceful conduct of the business of democracy here in the People's House. But I would be remiss if I didn't note that extremist events like this have been caused by both the far left and the far right all across our country. Even this week in Senate testimony, we're learning important details about the premeditation of the attack and the weakness in the Capitol security planning and preparation. To honor the rank and file men and women of law enforcement, I've sponsored a resolution with my good friend, Representative Ed Perlmutter, to celebrate the bravery of the Capitol Police, DC Metro, and other law enforcement officers. These men and women protected us with courage, and they should not be overlooked. I'm pleased to report that this resolution has strong bipartisan support with over 133 co-sponsors. It's important to note, though, that this is not the first time that our nation's capital and elected officials have been targeted. I'll spare the committee a long history lesson, but I will mention that prior to the events of January 6th, there have been 6 other attacks on the Capitol involving extremists ranging from white supremacists to anarchists. Most in this room will remember the members of this committee and our colleagues that were attacked during the congressional baseball game practice in 2017, committed by a terrorist fueled by rage against Republicans. Unfortunately, as the chairman said, extremism, both on the radical left and radical right in our country, is not new, and it affects all Americans. It's important that we investigate the funding for such attacks and mitigate extremists' ability to access it. Cutting off funding will inhibit their ability to grow and expand their abilities and scope. We need to craft bipartisan solutions to ensure that violence and hatred that fuel the attacks do not happen again. We must use our existing extensive laws and law enforcement operation and cooperation to identify and prosecute those on the left and right that attempt to use terror and violence. I appreciate the chairman. And in a final comment, I would hope I see our distinguished chair on the call. I would urge our chair when we are in Washington to invite her consideration of an in-person hearing. And with that, Mr. Chair, I yield back the balance of my time.